Hello everyone and welcome to today's video where we talk about the new OPPO Find X9 Pro's cameras. Now, I have brought this phone with me for a trip to Taipei last week actually, and I took a lot of pictures and videos using this phone. So in today's video, as promised, I'm gonna do one whole video talking about just the cameras and also the pictures I've taken with this phone, alongside with all of the features that it has, because it also has this I'm not sure what they call it, quick control, I think that's what they call it. Well, technically it's the camera slider thing that's found on the iPhones as well, since the iPhone 16 I think. And I also found out a lot of weird quirks with this phone, so let's talk about all of that in today's video. So do remember to hit that like and subscribe button as well, as we are trying to reach 100k subs real soon, and your help is greatly appreciated. So let's begin. And in this video, it's gonna be a bit of a weird setup because I am using a camera here, and then I'm recording my screen using OBS. And yeah, let's just talk about all of the pictures I've taken. So I've taken a total of 295 pictures and videos. Actually, there are a lot more pictures that I have removed from the pool because they are all work related. There's really nothing special there. Now, let's start off by talking about some of the specs of the OPPO Find X9 Pro first. We have a total of 3 cameras right here. The main and ultra-wide angle cameras are 50 megapixel sensors, whereby the periscope camera, which I think is the main star of the show, is a 200 megapixel sensor. All of the apertures are actually quite big here, ranging from 1.5 to 2.1 only. Even the periscope is only f2.1, which is amazing, as periscope cameras, when you go through that 90-degree bend, your aperture, well, traditionally will be real small, but in this case they managed to open it up, and which is also why the camera bump isn't exactly the thinnest here, even though I do think that it's not exactly real thick. Yeah, we just can't cheat physics, and they have to have a certain Z height requirement for that large aperture and also a periscope lens at the same time. So yeah, so let's talk about the pictures right now. Here is the first picture that I've taken. It is in the airport, and as you can see here, the colors are real nice. The sky, the color difference between the sky is actually really good. On this day, I do remember it being a tad bit cloudy, not exactly sunny or hot. Well, Malaysia is always hot and humid anyway, but not particularly hot that day. And as you can see, I purposely turned on the watermark so that I don't have to remember what camera lens I used to take this photo. So you can see it's the 15mm camera, which is the ultra wide. I'll leave all of the focal lengths somewhere on the screen here so that you can quickly refer to see which focal length is which camera lens. And then this is the main angle camera, which is 23mm, again really nice looking. And this is the periscope. So the periscope is at 70mm, and you can see the details are really good in this shot. And then the next picture, well, I reached Taipei, it's at night, and this is right outside the hotel. Again, ultra wide angle, which is the main camera, and then the telephoto. And then we also took this picture here. Yeah, it was raining in Taipei for the entire week that I was there, so the streets are actually looking really good right now because there's a thin layer of water and they create this kind of color reflection, which I think is a really nice artistic look. And I do have more pictures with this kind of effect later on. So again, ultra wide angle camera. This is the wide angle, the main camera, and then the telephoto. This is 3x zoom, and you can see the rain, the streaks of droplets of rain is really clear here, and I really like this camera's colors a lot. And remember, this is, well, how I take pictures, practically just point and shoot at the subject, so this kind of look is really good. And then we also have this one, which is the 6x zoom, so you can see it's at 140mm. Now the reason why there's gonna be a lot of 6x zoom pictures is because this camera's UI, they do have 0.6x zoom, 1x zoom, 3x zoom, and then for whatever reason they put a 6x zoom there. So if you want to quickly jump to 6x zoom, then you can just hit that little button in the camera app. And then here's more pictures taken at night. Nothing really much to see here, but I really do like this kind of look that is created with that 3x telephoto camera. Again, this is the 6x zoom. It's a little bit fuzzy looking, but I blame the rain more because it was really pouring that night. And then there's a tad bit of over sharpening on the flag there. So yeah, that's something that we'll talk about in the later pictures as well. And here's more pictures of where I was that night. Nothing really much to see here. And as you can see here, this is 139 millimeters, so just 1 millimeter short of the 6x zoom, and you get this kind of processing. For this picture though, it's 140 millimeters as shown in the watermark down there, and for whatever reason the processing is totally different. Yeah, 6x zoom looks a lot better than 5.9x zoom. And then this is the next day, which is the Nangang Exhibition Hall 1. Again, nothing really much to see here. It's also raining. And I took a picture of this tree. Then another zoom shot. I really like this shot because there's some sort of separation between the tree and the building behind, thanks to the rain as well. And here's the outside. Ultra wide angle, wide angle, telephoto, 3x telephoto, and then this is the 6x zoom. And at the end of the first day, I took this shot here. Now, this shot is, well, we are gonna see a lot more duplicates of this scene, but in different times. So, ultra wide angle, another ultra wide angle. I think I just readjusted the rotation a bit. And then this is the main camera. Again, I really like the details here. Do remember that all the 3 lenses on this phone has autofocus, so you will get very crisp images. So again, ultra wide angle, main camera, 3x zoom, and the train is there. As you can see there, all of the leaves are actually very sharp in this picture. I'm not sure if I can show you the full image and also zoom it in, but I will try to include that in the video for you guys to see. And then here is the 6x zoom. The 6x zoom here actually looks really good. There's no signs of over sharpening or whatnot, and all of the details are still very prominent here, and I really like this view. Oh, by the way, I ate this thing at Taipei. This thing is delicious. They just fry some youtiao, they cut it real thin, and then they mix it with these tiny prawns and with some sauce and whatnot, and then you wrap it in the cabbage that's behind there, and you just take a bite. It's really delicious, and I'm getting hungry by just looking at all of these pictures. Oh my god. Yes, let's talk about the macro feature. So the OPPO Find X9 Pro does have a macro functionality that you can toggle in the camera app. And in one of the exhibitors booth, they showed this little microchip. I'm not sure what kind of chip it is. I don't really remember what was told. But either way, yeah, that's my palm. And I just put that thing right on top of it, and I use I think this is the 6x zoom with the macro mode, and you can see all of the tiny details there. Of course, I have to crop in a lot more to see that chip properly, but either way, this shot is already amazing. And here are some of the more zoomed in shots, and as you can see, the details around the chip is starting to get a little bit more noisy. And I took a few more shots, and this shot here, I don't really remember what kind of settings I was using. I think it was the lighting. This shot looks a lot better, and the sharpening is not that obvious, but of course my skin that's in the background is actually quite over sharpened. And at night, I also visited Ximending because it's the hot tourist place. They of course have a lot of festivals going on during that week. So this is the famous Red House, which you can directly see right outside the Ximen station. And here's the ultra wide angle main camera. This is the 3x telephoto, 6x telephoto. You can see amazing details on the brick wall. Even the 3x look real good already. 6x look even better. And here are some of the, I don't know what this is. I think it's some sort of exhibition inside the Red House, as it was really near Halloween at the time. Yeah. So another micro shot for the pumpkin. Another one. This is some Lego figurine as well. And of course, they have a really big pop mark at the center of Ximending. So picture ultra wide angle, main angle, this is the 3 times, 6 times. All of them look good, especially the colors. Actually, one of the things that I like the most about the OPPO Find X9 Pro is gonna be the colors that it produces with all the images. The details are already great, but the colors is what sold me about the camera capability of this phone, because the colors, if it looks nice, then it's gonna, you know, up the level of the photo by quite a lot. I'm not particularly worried about the details that much, because when you upload to social media and whatnot, then compression is gonna happen, so some of the details are gonna be lost. But the colors are important because our brains really do fill in a lot of the gaps with just the colors that we see. So as you can see here, this is the right outside the red house, there's a junction. Yes, this is a very busy junction. I like to call it the Shibuya crossing of Taipei, because it's a really busy crossing and a lot of people cross it every single day, actually every single minute. So again, ultra wide angle shot, main angle shot, 3 times zoom, 6 times zoom. The colors are amazing here. I'm gonna show you another one here. I think this is auto mode, this is night mode, and with night mode it's gonna be a little bit more overexposed. As you can see, the screen at the far left side there is a bit too bright when compared to just in auto mode. They look similar, but the glow on the this night mode is a lot brighter. So I would just not turn on night mode and use it in auto mode. This is auto mode, this is night mode. And again, the wide angle camera, I do prefer the slightly darker look without the glow on the auto mode. So again, use it in auto mode most of the time. So same thing here, this is the 3 times auto mode, 3 times night mode. Here's where things get interesting, because as you can see, the resolution of this picture is 14,336 pixels times 16,384 pixels. This is the Hasselblad high res. Yes, you can toggle between 50 megapixels and 200 megapixel mode. And 50 megapixel means that all the 3 cameras can be used to take the picture, so it's more flexible that way. But if you want to take it in 200 megapixel mode, then you will only be locked in to the 3 times telephoto camera, because that is the only sensor that is 200 megapixels. So as you can see here, this picture is the Hasselblad high-res photo, 200 megapixels. And as you can see here, the pictures look really crisp, and I will show you the full image right here in the video, and also zoom it in to see all of the details. Again, the details look really nice already, but the colors is what impressed me the most, because again, to me, the colors is the more important aspect when it comes to a photo. And here's some other random shot in 200 megapixel mode, and yeah, the 200 megapixel mode looks real nice. So remember when I said that the floor was slightly wet and there's a layer of water to create this kind of reflection effect for the lights? Yeah, this picture is another one of those pictures. The picture looks really nice because the wet floor is just reflecting all of the colors, and I really like this kind of effect. So this is the ultra wide angle camera shot. This is the main angle camera shot, which I think looks a lot better since the lights are not overexposed, but then again the cars are moving. And here's another zoom shots, which I also really like a lot. And then here's the night mode shot. In this case, yeah, the night mode is really a bit brighter in my opinion compared to the standard auto mode. And here's another 200 megapixel picture just for the fun of it, and I think it looks really nice. Also, oh yeah, I should mention this, when you take a Hasselblad high-res photo, in 200 megapixel mode particularly, you will have the Fibonacci spin grid, and all the pictures are created. I don't know how to describe it, but you can see this shot right here. Yeah, the image starts to form in a Fibonacci sequence. So one thing that I realized is that you can just directly hit the shutter button and then you can move on with your life. You don't have to wait for the picture and just stand there like a statue. You can just press the shutter, go everywhere else, and the picture will be taken and processed as is. You don't have to stand there and wait. I think this is a very important thing to highlight because I was waiting there for the first time when I was taking this kind of Hasselblad high-res picture. And then we have more shots. For whatever reason, they randomly have a church above the family mart there. Okay. And this is once more the night mode. I really don't like how bright the night mode makes the picture looks, because I do think, again, this is night mode, way too bright, especially with all the lampposts and the lighting inside the church. And here is the auto mode. The auto mode looks a lot better in my opinion. Oh, this scene. So these are some of the older shop lots within Taipei city. So you can see how low the ceiling is. And I just randomly took this picture. Ultra wide angle, main angle. This is the telephoto 3x zoom. And you can see the sharpening happening quite aggressively here. Especially the writing that's on the red color board there, and it's more prominent when we jump to 6x zoom. As you can see, the writing above that red board there is over sharpened, and even the details around the rolling shutters around the shop lots are also over sharpened. It's not particularly way too much over sharpening, but it's just something that I realized, and I just want to point that out. Here are more random shots that I took, which I think is real beautiful here. Yeah, night mode is really gonna brighten up everything, which I really don't suggest you to use it. And we're back to this train station again. So as you can see, at night, the place is very well lit, and I really like how this picture turned out. Again, ultra wide angle camera. This is the main angle camera. And here is the 3x zoom. At night, the 3x zoom will have some over sharpening artifacts, as you can see somewhere around the leaves, the trees there at the back. And here is the 6x zoom, which is gonna further highlight the sharpening a bit more. And thanks to the rainy weather, I really do like the reflections of the ground, especially on the right side of this shot right here. I'm gonna skip ahead and talk about these pictures here because I also went to the Taipei 101, and here is the entire building itself. It's really tall, and I took a few more shots just to try to, you know, frame it properly, and I think this picture turns out really nice. And I also tried to zoom in and take some shot. It was actually raining and very windy during that day, so my umbrella was trying to make me to become Mary Poppins and fly around. So yeah, I have to make myself wet just to take this shot. Yeah, this shot is the nicest one that I took. Oh yeah, I like this shot a lot. So this woman wearing this I don't know what I should call this, pink dress, red dress, and she just walked right in front of me, and I think the color really pops with a dress, and I immediately whipped out the phone, double pressed the camera control button, and then the camera app launches, and I just took a shot, which is why it's a bit crooked. I will show you a straightened version of this picture, and it looks amazing. And do remember, it's a point and click shot, and I tried to take yet another shot, and I think this shot doesn't really capture the magic that the first one had. This shot in particular looks really nice because you can see every strand of the dog's fur at the tail especially. Even though the tiny little strands are poking out and it's not clumped up together, it managed to capture all of that detail. Again, it's a point and shoot kind of shot here, and it looks amazing. Yeah, the dog is pissing. I shouldn't have shown you that. But I want to talk about some things that I found out while using this OPPO Find X9 Pro to take a lot of the pictures. So first things first, the quick control or camera control, whatever they want to call it, is still very awkwardly placed because it's placed right here, and to reach in you have to have really long fingers, and it's also not really that ergonomic to reach in and actually press on that and to, you know, swipe around for the zoom controls and whatnot, which I personally just don't find it to be comfortable to use at all. And it's also annoying because I take pictures with my left hand, because when I use phones, I always go for my left hand. So one issue that I have is that I can do this. Double press the camera button, do it like this, but then again, my pinky finger will be swiping on the camera control slider. And when the camera slider is activated and showing on the screen, I cannot press the shutter button to take the picture. So what did I do? I disabled the zoom slider feature. Yeah. Another way to take a picture properly using my left hand is to do a JoJo pose. So, you know, Jonathan Joestar, that famous pose? Yeah, I practically did that. So, whip out the phone from my pocket, double press the camera button, and then I do this. Technically a JoJo pose. Yes. Now, let's talk about the videography of the OPPO Find X9 Pro. You can take 4K 120fps videos with the main and telephoto cameras, which I find it to be an interesting choice because, you know, you cannot take 120fps with the ultrawide, but okay. And you can also take 4K 60fps videos with all three cameras, which is great. But then again, you cannot switch cameras while taking a 4K 60fps video. I have no idea why, because a lot of other phones will allow us to do that already. So why doesn't the OPPO Find X9 Pro let us do that? I don't know. So here are some of the videos that I took with the OPPO Find X9 Pro. Just have a watch here and also listen to the city soundscapes of Taipei. Also, throughout my entire time testing the OPPO Find X9 Pro, I did not have the teleconverter lens with me. So I cannot judge how good it is or convenient it is to actually use that thing, but during our briefing for this phone, I did actually try out that thing on a demo phone. So what you have to do is to use that proprietary, I should call it proprietary, carbon fiber case. So you install it on the phone, and then you have the housing for the teleconverter lens that just slide on top of the camera bump here, and then you get the teleconverter lens on it. So what the teleconverter lens does is to provide you another 3.28 times zoom, if I'm not wrong, and it's for the periscope lens only. So in actuality, it is going to compound your zoom even further, resulting in a total of 10 times zoom compared to your main camera lens. And each time you want to use the teleconverter lens, you have to change it to the Hasselblad teleconverter mode in the camera settings modes. So what this does is to help you invert the camera image, because again, optics, when you go so far zoom, then the image will get rotated. It's just how physics work. And there's actually no automatic way to straight away go into the Hasselblad teleconverter mode. So each time you want to use the teleconverter lens, you have to do that manually. So yeah, those are just some of the things that I found when using the OPPO Find X9 Pro to take pictures during my trip to Taipei. Overall cameras, I would say real impressive, though there are some quirks, but those are just some minor issues. Throughout all of the pictures that I've shown in this video, I would say, safely say, 100% of the pictures are actually very nice. It's just that I'm gonna nitpick in some of the pictures, especially when it comes to the night mode photography with the higher exposure that makes all the lights glow too brightly. But again, that's just a quirk that I realized and I want to point that out. So other than that though, the picture quality coming out of the OPPO Find X9 Pro, again, amazing. The MediaTek Dimensity 9500 chipset in this phone is also amazing, so you can check out our full review down in the description below or at the top right corner here to find out more about this phone and the gaming test as well. Yes, we have the gaming test done for the OPPO Find X9 Pro. Again, link at the top right corner there or down in the description below. Check all of those out. Remember to hit that like and subscribe button as we're trying to hit 100k subs. And yeah, that's it. I yapped for about like what? More than 30 minutes in this video. I really like the OPPO Find X9 Pro. Yeah. If that's not obvious already.